not yet in. Gonna set you guys off for a second, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, Paul Hearing here, inviting you to a wonderful, wonderful episode of Eclectic Ramblings. It is Friday, but unfortunately, Donna hasn't made it on yet, but I do have some wonderful guests from you from all over the country, including Flint, Michigan. So we've got, let's start with Ted. Introduce yourself.
Hey, this is Ted Jankowski, formerly of Flint, out here in Burbank, California.
Trying to get back on.
Nice. Pat, you're next.
Hi, I'm Jesse Peck. I can't see you and I can't see me, but right now I'm in Houston, Texas.
You are frozen on the screen, so we just kicked him off until he comes
frozen.
back. He'll be back eventually. All right, Tim, you're up.
All right, I'm Tim Bulu down here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Beautiful 65-degree night. Enjoying it on the patio with one of my good buddies here. Hope y'all are having a great night too. Did we lose Paul?
Looks like it.
Okay. Oh, sheesh.
Paul Jr. You can fill in.
There you go. Paul Jr., take over. We lost your dad. Oh, I guess we don't have Paul Jr. either.
I'm here. But I don't. Paul Jr. is not. I don't think he can hear us. Yeah, everything's unmuted, but that's okay. So let's go to who was next. Jesse. Jesse, you there?
I don't think so. I'm not there.
I hear you. So introduce yourself anyway. We got a decent mug of you. You don't look totally bad.
I'm Jesse Peck. I'm trying to get back on. I'm in Houston, Texas, where the weather is much nicer and the corona numbers are significantly lower. It's a lot safer here. And I don't know if you heard anything I said.
Well, I heard up to the corona numbers are lower, and then it went quiet.
Yeah, I heard it all too.
Don't worry about Paul. Eventually,
all right,
he
great.
will
So I'll
chime
just work
in,
on
right?
getting my face back on there. Sorry, guys.
All right, well, you might just have to disconnect and get back in. Chuck, did you introduce yourself?
Not yet. This is Pretty Chuck from Flint, otherwise known as the Quarter Horse, down in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Love you all.
Oh, wow.
So I don't want to reveal the lies in that statement, but I guess they're
yeah, that's pretty hard. Yeah,
they're visible. They're visible.
Hey, fellas, hate don't look good on TV, so cut it out.
They just jealous.
Just jealous. Just jealous.
Exactly.
Chuck, baby, tell me what's happening down there where you are in Albuquerque, right?
Yes. Okay, we're on lockdown, but I found out today that we are 2 weeks ahead of our projection. So, in other words, our numbers are being suppressed 2 weeks earlier than was projected a while back. So we're making some headway down here. We still got a lot of people with it, but we're making some headway. Hello?
Paul, keep jumping.
I'm sorry. When you hear when you talk about numbers, what kind of numbers are you talking about? We got a couple of comments online.
We got about 900 active cases of coronavirus, and the deaths, I think it's 30 deaths so far.
Oh wow. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say not bad at all, but my gosh, yeah. 30 deaths. Anybody, Paul Jr., I need to ask Paul Jr. Can you hear me, Paul? I don't think he can. He's got to be wondering what's going on. He looks good, though. He looks good.
he looks like his mama.
Oh!
he had to get them good looks from his mama.
Exactly.
So, Chuck, is it affecting African Americans more than it is the others there in your community?
I don't know the numbers on that. I know in Michigan, I've lost 2 family members, and 2 friends have confirmed to me that they are positive, but on the recuperating side. But down here, I don't know the numbers of blacks and everybody else. I haven't seen that study yet.
Yeah, over this way, I work for a medical section of a university, and what they're finding is that it is adversely affecting the African American community because of the fact that diabetes, heart disease, and a couple of other conditions that are prevalent in the Black community are definite
Can anybody
causation
hear me?
for catching.
There we go. Yeah, we can hear you now, Paul. Go ahead, introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
it's delayed. It's super delayed on my end. I can barely hear y'all.
Oh, well, we can hear you just fine. You
Are
want
you
to jack out or you want to introduce yourself?
are you
I mean,
sharing
I
the
can
same
introduce
connection as your
myself.
dad?
I'm Paul the Handsome One Herring. Too. Here hanging out in Flint, having a good time. Quarantined for what? Is it going on week 3 now?
3 or 4.
Something like that.
I
Something
stopped
like that.
counting. I stopped counting. I know. I called Donna today, and Donna she says, "This is how I live all the time, Paul. I go home, I go to the store, I go home.
Yep.
I didn't know it was called quarantine.
Yes.
That's my life. What are you talking about?" So, Ted, what are we seeing for numbers there in California?
I haven't really paid attention, but it's interesting. I'm all the way out here in California, and
I
I
don't
got
think you
two
heard you.
family
I barely
members
heard you.
in Burton there that both have the coronavirus.
2 of your
And we just,
relatives.
yep, a cousin and my aunt in Burton.
Oh wow.
So it's like, out here in California where we got hit right after New York and and down there in St. Louis. Well, not St. Louis. I'm sorry, New Orleans. They got hit real bad, but it's like the people I know that have got it are back in Flint.
So I mean, but I thought the Los Angeles was a hot spot, especially with all the international travel and folks coming and going out there.
You can walk in and out of that airport in minutes. There's nobody there hardly. Out of
Yeah,
LAX or Burbank.
I don't know if you
But
guys
we
got to see
even
Jesse Peck's film. He was in the airport. He just left Detroit. What, 2 days ago, Jesse?
Yeah, a few days ago, I left Detroit heading to Houston, where the corona numbers are much, much lower, and the airport was an absolute ghost town.
yeah.
The restaurants weren't even open. I flew in on a plane that had 80 seats. Out of those 80 seats, there were only 8 people on the plane.
Whoa.
No.
So I hope they gave you first class, baby. I hope they gave you first class.
Well, I mean, they had no choice.
Got to separate you by 6 rows. They just had it. My goodness.
Right. Yeah.
So how much was the ticket, Peck?
It was cheap. It was actually under $100.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was under $100 to fly in, and I couldn't believe it. But yeah, so I was definitely going to take advantage of that. Get out here. I've got the studio here in Houston. My girl Gina, the love of my life, she built a studio for me here in Houston, so I could work here as well as him. I know, ain't love grand,
That was a nice suck up move. Nice suck up
That's
move.
a nice suck up move. Dig it. But,
Somebody's going to get rewarded.
yeah, baby. Let's wrap this up. People.
All right now. Hey, we got a baby on the line. Be quiet.
Who?
Sorry, nephew.
Paul Jr.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Don't
not
get
a
him
baby.
started.
Come on now. Don't do that to me.
He think he grown. He ain't grown yet. The ink still wet on his driver's license.
So now, let's see. Tim, you're on medical leave, so you're not working, right?
No, I'm still working. I was actually I had started going back to the office after 2 years, 2 weeks before they told me, okay, go home and don't come back until we tell you it's okay.
Right. Do you want to tell people why, or are you good?
Yeah, no, I don't mind. I'm on maintenance doses of chemo until it's time to head to hospice. So every other week I'm getting a dose of chemo.
Okay. Nice. You're looking good, though. Looking good.
Yeah,
I mean,
you look
as
great.
good as you can.
Yeah, well, you know I dropped out.
You look better than Chuck. You know.
That ain't hard. That ain't hard, Jesse. Come on, you gotta set the bar higher than that. You gotta set the bar higher than that.
Paul,
Yes.
Paul, we can't all look as good as your son.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I agree. He's a handsome
Right
devil.
on.
He's a handsome devil. Uh-huh. So, Chuck, you're still working, right?
Yes, I'm getting all the overtime I can stand. I work at a hospital, so that's one of those essential jobs they talk about. And I'm working doubles back to back.
Oh
Man, what do you feel? How you feeling?
I just took a week off, so I'm feeling good now. So I got a whole lot of sleep, so I'm doing a lot better now.
Are you feeling safe about? I mean, I'm most scared about the hospitals. I mean, even if I had it, I don't think I'd want to go to the hospital because that's where
Right,
everybody is with it.
right. Well, I'm on a behavioral unit, so I'm not in the medical part, and we screen pretty good on keeping, seeing what's coming in. So we don't deal necessarily with the coronavirus face to face
Okay. So
deliberately.
you're not an emergency room.
what the hell?
No.
Okay. All right. Hey, Paul Jr., what are you thinking about this thing? Numbers in Flint, the disparities.
Can he hear you?
I don't know. He said his volume was bad. I don't think he has headphones. Paul Jr., you got
Okay.
headphones you can put in?
I do have headphones, but it's not going to change the fact that it's jumpy.
Yeah, the jumpy isn't a problem, but we can still hear you. I mean, you just sound like you're far away from your microphone. That's all.
Oh yeah, I'm a little a ways away from my phone. I'm the way I have it set up, I can't get to my mic jack, but maybe I'll figure something out.
Okay, cool. I'll take you off for a second, and we'll wait till you jack back in. There we
Is
go.
he using your same internet or is he using his phone's internet?
He's using cellular. He's using cellular here at the studio. He's just next door in the
Okay.
apartment. He
I'm
lives above
using
the studio there.
I'm using 5G on my high-speed connection here in Burbank. I got a
5G.
400 gigabyte connection.
You look good. I mean, as good as you can, Ted Jankowski. So, aren't you afraid of 5G? I thought we were supposed to be afraid of 5G.
That's the Wi-Fi 5G, not the cell phone. There's two different types, I guess. The Wi-Fi 5G that you have off of your updated modems and routers,
Right?
and then you've got the 5G from the service from your cell phone company that's been brand new. But
I'm
5G,
gonna
I've had
Really?
5G on my Wi-Fi for the last 3 years.
Well, I don't. I mean, 5.0 gigahertz is not. Is that what you're talking about? 500
Yeah,
gigahertz? But I think that's different
I
than
think so.
5G.
That if
You
you
know,
go,
the
if you
routers
look
went
at
from 2.4 to 5.0, and now this
right,
5G is a whole different
right.
animal.
But when you look it up on the router, it says 5G.
But
And what's that?
Huawei is not the only manufacturer of 5G cellular equipment.
Right.
So, what? I mean, am I right, Tim? This is your line of work. 5G. Are we ready for it?
I'll tell you, I'm not ready for Huawei, and the reason is because the Chinese have found a way that they can tunnel signals out of your network without you even knowing about it from equipment. I wouldn't buy a piece of Chinese equipment if you put a gun to my head and the money in my pocket.
But it doesn't have to be a piece of Chinese equipment if they can bore through anything, right? I mean, it's the code.
It's companies like Cisco and other American manufacturers respect the fact that you need your privacy, the network needs security, and they try to protect that. Huawei is looking to steal secrets, period. If you got to know the Chinese way of doing it. They don't develop much, they steal it, and then they customize it.
Uh-huh.
So Huawei is going to be spying on you and then reporting back. It's amazing. I mean, they even get to the point where they send actual humans over here to go to work in the universities to steal our intellectual property and ship it back over there.
Wow.
So what is Wow? Is Huawei like our Comcast? It's your cable provider
No.
down there?
Yeah, you're familiar with Cisco network equipment?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Huawei is the Chinese version of Cisco. They manufacture firewalls, routers, all kind of networking equipment.
Okay.
But
And how do you stay away from Huawei equipment when you're buying a router? Like, is my Nighthawk a Huawei router?
I don't know. I'd have to research the components inside and see if Huawei makes any of them. How do I stay away from it? I buy Cisco. I buy companies that I know are manufacturing here in the United States. D-Link, Linksys for the home, things along that nature.
Okay, I think that mine is a D-Link Nighthawk, so I should be okay, right?
The one thing you want to keep an eye on is firmware updates, because bugs are reported, almost daily, and they put out the updates to fix it. But if you ain't paying attention and downloading the updates, you're not fixing the problem.
All right, so I need to go into my router settings and tell it to automatically update it since it's a D-Link and it's a safe one?
Well, a lot of times D-Link, you can't set it to automate. You have to set your own schedule where every so often you go in and tell it to check for an update and see if there's any updates available.
And how often do you think that should be?
At least once a month.
At least once a month?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys learned something, didn't you?
I sure did.
Wait, I lost Chuck. I got you guys. I got everybody. Chuck's gone. All right, he'll be back in.
No.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, much better.
Much better.
Oh, yeah.
Much better.
Much better.
Okay.
How are you connected?
He's got his gaming headphones on now.
That's what it is.
He's ready. We got Chuck back.
Oh,
Once again,
that's Chuck. Okay.
I see the Hater Academy is still infested, huh?
So we got a comment on Facebook from Marty White, and she says, "I'm with you, Paul. No hospitals." And then she said, "Goodbye, G5. Blast your brains and testicles with that."
Wow.
That ain't happening.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Hold on, I got one more here from Benny Bad. He's asking, where is Eric Mays? This is not the Eric Mays show. Come on, Benny. What's wrong with you?
Where's Eric Mays?
I hope he's sheltering in place, like the rest of us are. So, have you guys found anything interesting to do? What are you doing with your time that you're not out at the parties and at the A-list clubs and all that kind of stuff?
I've been getting a lot of cleaning up done. It's stuff that I've been putting off for months, and I'm finally able to get it done. I've been folding up some of my drawers and putting them away.
That just a general question, or are you asking somebody specific?
Yeah, well, we're gonna let Chuck go, and then we'll ask you next, Paul. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, I've been folding up drawers that's been laying around for the last few weeks.
You're supposed to throw them away, Chuck. You're supposed to throw them away, man.
Or wash them first.
I tried to put them up, but they kept crawling out the drawer. You know what I mean? So I had to put a shoe on top of it.
Oh, jeez.
Not good. Not good. That is not a good sign, dude. Not a good sign. Sometimes it's better to go without. You know what I'm saying?
I do that too, Commando. Hey.
Oh, God.
You knew that was coming.
I need a drink.
You know, Jesse, I think I'll join you. What the heck?
Oh, my God.
We had to decide early on whether or not we were going to hide our beverages. And I think it was unanimous that was not going to be orange juice.
Nothing but orange juice, yes.
Oh, no, you know it's not.
Vitamins.
Junior said he don't believe that.
I don't believe it. Orange juice has got to be vodka or tequila. I'm guessing
no, you got to
tequila.
step up from that a little stronger.
Oh my God!
But it's good though.
You're in Mexico. You're in New Mexico. You got to do tequila.
I got some tequila here too. I keep tequila. Oh yeah.
So what you messing with over there, Chuck?
Well, I got some orange juice and a little some of this.
Oh, that's illegal in Michigan. You can't have that here.
Oh, Everclear. Ooh wee.
Did it say
that's why I'm not in
190
Michigan.
proof?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm not in Michigan.
Did that say 190 proof?
85%,
Exactly.
baby.
Oh my goodness! What,
Yep.
Ted? I mean, Chuck. All right, we're gonna
95%.
keep an eye on you. We're gonna keep an eye on you. I don't think you're gonna make it.
Oh, I'm all right. All I gotta do is walk upstairs and go to bed. I'm doing good.
Nice. No drunk driving on this tip. So, what'd you think about Tom Joyner retiring? You know, we had that brush with fame back in the day.
I remember that. You know, I'm
for you
happy
guys
for
that
Tom. He
don't
did
know.
that.
Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead.
I was happy for Tom. He did that for several decades. Yeah, I used to work with Tom Joyner for about 5 years. They had a segment on the show called Express Yourself, and I would call in and answer the day's question with some jokes and a poem, even doing 5 live shows with him. And actually, Flint After Dark went to 2 of them down in Detroit and covered it, and it was a big, good experience and a lot of fun working with him. But it's good to see him be able to enjoy the fruits of his labor after a long, eventful career in radio broadcasts.
So you think he's going to do something else? You think he's going to do the Oprah network thing? Maybe port himself to television, or is he ready to just hit the beach?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think he's going to still do the cruise. I think that's what I heard him say. They're going to keep doing that cruise because it was raising money for historically black colleges.
Okay.
And then that wouldn't tie him up like the radio show did. And I can't see him just sitting down completely. I wouldn't be surprised if he did something with Oprah. And
why did the show end?
Well, the ratings were down, and he had lost a lot of his markets.
Okay.
To I think Steve Harvey and some of the other ones that are out there doing it big.
Steve Harvey,
I think he
really?
was down to, I think he was down to like 70 or 80 networks or whatever you call it.
Wow.
So his numbers are way down from back in the day.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought Tom was still very popular. I know that Nick Cannon started his own radio network similar, and Bazin has one, Steve Harvey has one, and Cheryl Underwood has one.
Right. And so the younger crowd was gravitating toward the other shows.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. So you're cleaning up over there, Ted. What are you doing in Burbank to leave the boredom? Wait a minute, you're working.
Yeah, I work. I'm a building engineer, so I get to go to work every day.
Are you getting the overtime and extra pay and all that kind of stuff?
No. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to still have a job. Most of these guys have been laid off.
Yep.
Are any of you guys applying for the stimulus money?
No,
I do Uber.
Hold on, Ted, go for it.
All right.
No, I do Uber, and I thought I'd be able to apply for one of those low interest loans, but that's only if I would have had any employees. So the small business loan won't do anything, but I am looking forward to my $1,200.
Of course, you got employees, right. Ted. Me, myself, and I, all 3 of you drive that Uber.
Hey, Ted. Yeah. Right now that's doing Uber as well, and Uber told him they've got a little pool of money that the drivers can apply for.
Yeah, but see, I also work full time. I just do Uber part time, so I was just looking to possibly get a nice low interest loan, take all my credit cards, put it underneath that loan, and stop paying 18% and start paying 3%.
Yeah.
So, what's your understanding of the stimulus money? I mean, where's that $1,200 coming from? Isn't that just a loan on your future taxes?
No. They said that's not a loan on the future taxes. That's what I had thought myself, but from what I heard, it's not supposed to be.
I think
who'd you hear it from? Orange Face?
No, articles online.
I'm just checking.
I don't believe a thing the orange monkey in the White House says.
Okay, all right. Tell me you're about to say something.
That one of the smartest thing I think they could do is they turn around instead of this talk about income tax freezing for a little while and everything, is if they just turn around and say, look, anybody that gets this $1,200 stimulus, there's guaranteed no income tax on it. All you people that had to go on unemployment compensation, you're not going to get taxed on that unemployment compensation, and
Right.
that would help out greatly.
But I hear here in California that they tax the unemployment
Laughing at orange
compensation.
face.
Oh yeah, and I lived in Massachusetts for many years, and I got laid off every winter, and I paid taxes on my 12 weeks of unemployment compensation every year.
Which is a pittance compared to what you were actually making.
Uh huh.
Wow.
But
Wow.
yeah,
So you're convinced? I'm not convinced yet, Ted. That it's not a trick.
Hey, yeah, I'm not convinced yet either, but I can
The
cross
people
my
dying's
fingers
got
and
to
hope to
convince you of
God.
that.
So when I heard the SBA was giving out loans, I immediately went to the website and I clicked on this button. I read that, and I clicked on this button. I read that. I qualified, and I clicked on that one. It said I qualified, and it said click here to apply, and it said our website is under maintenance. Please try
Oh
again
man,
later. 2 hours in, baby.
2 hours in.
So I'm scared. I'm scared to go through that again. But I mean, SBA loan would be nice. It would. It
yeah,
would.
it
It
sure
would be
would.
a low interest loan. I'm really concerned about the disparities in this COVID. Affecting Black communities, and I know that what you said about heart disease and diabetes, and the fact that
Yep.
we don't go to the hospital and doctors like we should is definitely a factor. But I was a part of a group called the Community-Based Organization Partners, and they were a part of a research that discovered in our county that in our hospital system, Black babies were dying 6 to 8 times more
Damn.
than white babies in the hospitals, and they were trying to explain
Whoa.
the disparities. So once I heard, I put that with this, and the bottom line was that they determined that the kids were dying because of institutional racism. That the staff and the people in the hospital with good intentions had biases towards people of color. So my question is now, if we go to Hurley Hospital right now, how many people of color are we going to see on respirators?
Well, now when you say biases, what is it in particular that they're doing or not doing?
Well, they're not giving them the same options as other people. They're making some assumptions that their lifestyle and the way they live, that they can't do the things that they're telling other people to do with their newborns. We need you to
Hmm.
do clean formula and do all this kind of stuff. Whereas if you're from the north side of Flint, those are things they may be. I'm paraphrasing. Okay, I don't want to
Right.
say that this is exactly what the study found, but it boiled down to institutionalized racism.
Hmm.
And the staff here at Hurley Hospital is Black. A lot of them are. I guess not all of them are, but the people in charge are. So
I
I
was
would
gonna say a
hope,
lot of the administration is.
right,
Was
I
the
would
study
hope they get a handle on it. This is
what?
Mrs. Deloney's group, the community-based organization partners. They do the health disparity project with Black babies. I'm gonna say it was maybe 4 years ago. I'm sure it's online. I'm sure the results are online. It was a big study with the University of Michigan down in Ann Arbor. Dr. Kent Key worked on it. Ella Green Moten worked on it. A bunch of other organizations. It was eye opening. But again, having known that, um, I just put the two together, and I'm afraid this is not only those factors that you mentioned, but some kind of institutionalized, and I'm going to even say unintentional, different treatment in the medical system. What do you guys think? Don't all speak at once.
The numbers I'm looking at have nothing to do with babies, but I've gotten some alarming information about the percentage of Black people in several states that are dying as opposed to other races from the coronavirus. In Milwaukee, and I'm looking at the numbers right here, 73% of the deaths in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, are Black. 67% of the deaths in Chicago are Black people. In North Carolina, 38% of the deaths are Blacks. In Louisiana, 70% of the coronavirus deaths are Black people. Illinois, 42%. In DC, it's 58%. In Michigan, the state I just ran from, it's 41%. On average, half of the coronavirus deaths appear to be people of African American descent. That's what's alarming to me. It's amazing. And not only that, I've been quiet for a little bit. I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist myself, so there's only so much I'm gonna say. But you guys were talking about 5G earlier, and I've been hearing and researching some things lately about coronavirus versus 5G. And I'm just learning from you guys tonight. There's a difference between 5G for the phones and for our computers. But I'm hearing that the 5G is actually what's causing the deaths. It's killing our cells. The 5G is killing our cells, and it's causing symptoms in our bodies that are similar to flu-like symptoms. So they're labeling that and they're calling it corona instead of admitting and saying that it's 5G, because 5G is lots of money. It's major dollars. It's a way that they can give us internet at much higher speeds. I know some people are going, oh God, here he goes. But it's what I'm hearing. It's what I'm researching. And I don't believe everything that the television just tells me. I believe in researching. I believe in looking up and finding information for myself. And I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. If you guys have any information on that, if you can chime in and if you set me straight, or if you can agree with what I'm saying, I'm interested in what anyone has to say on that.
An interesting point on that is, so you know where everything started with Corona, right?
Tell me.
Wukong, China, and guess who has the highest saturation of 5G in the world?
China.
Wuchang, China.
Wukong, China. Yep. So I don't know if it's a happy coincidence or it's just a fluke or something like that, but it's interesting. And we've always known that radio waves from phones are potentially dangerous because it's literally a microwave next to your ear. It transmits that same 2.4 gigahertz signal that your microwave does, and it even does an extra signal with the 5G networks and 4G networks. So, I mean, it's interesting. I haven't done as much research as you. I've just heard conversations and other people tell me the research that they've read. But yeah, it's some interesting stuff.
That's
so have you heard of any
interesting.
petitions or any way of stopping the rollout of 5G in our community? Well, if they're killing us with it, who are they going to sell it to is my question. Who's going to buy it if it's killing everybody?
Those that are still here.
Paul.
Yeah.
Can I just mention one?
Oh, but Uncle Jesse, to your is someone else talking? I can.
Hold on.
Ted was talking.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Can I just mention one industry and you tell me your thoughts? Tobacco.
Yeah.
All right. Cigarettes been killing people for years, and yet that industry just kept growing and growing and growing.
So we got to grow a new batch of smokers. I mean, we got to grow a new batch of cell phone users that are immune to the poisons in the G5.
Why do you?
Or they got to break even before we all die.
Why think you see so many young kids walking around with their parents' phone in their hand playing video games on it?
I thought it was a sign of the times. Isn't that what we've groomed our children to be? Tech suave, being able to use this technology to gain a better job.
There's a couple of different things, and 5G was one of them that I've been hearing about. The other one is I know some people in the medical field, and one of them used to work for our federal government and in the medical field. And she told me in the very beginning, back at the end of January, that her sources told her that this virus is actually an experiment that escaped a lab in China.
I heard
I
that
wouldn't be
too.
surprised.
I've heard that too.
Yep.
I heard that, Tim.
Yeah, I got no problem believing that.
Mhm.
No problem
Yeah.
believing that. And
No.
then what did I hear today that the orange guy, has stock in the company that's trying to do
Medication.
Yep.
the medication for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I
Is
did.
a
He's
major
he's a
some more.
businessman.
Well, I did some more research on that one, and from what I could
But that's got
find
to
is
be illegal. That's got to be a conflict of interest.
Nah.
you would think,
You're so cute. he remembers how he remembers how government used to be. Oh, isn't that nice?
What
as
did you
much
find? What did you find, Ted?
as much as I'd like to believe that he was heavily invested in that, it's actually part of a one of his many trusts that he has that has mutual funds that have that company in it. NYT, I believe, is the stock number for that. And granted, he's got money in it, but it's in a part of a mutual fund. I wish it was
So
more.
he didn't go out. He didn't go out and buy it intentionally and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I'm going to sell this." It's not an insider trading deal.
Right. I wish it was, but because that just fits his character, but it didn't. It's not like it's not like he's going golfing on the American people's dime every weekend, and they're upgrading his resorts because the security is 1980s security, and now they have the precedent. So we're paying to upgrade all the security in all of his resorts every time he goes to a new one, or renting golf carts for $45,000 every time each for the Secret Service.
Man.
That's much easier, but unfortunately on this one it's kind of as the pun on words, it's a wild herring.
Oh, that's a horrible pun. But while I have the floor, let me say hi to Louis Ann Green and Marty White and Quincy Murphy. They've joined us on the YouTube. Wait, no, Quincy's on YouTube. Marty's on Facebook. You guys
Where's
say
Quincy?
hello. Quincy Murphy. You know Quincy Murphy, my buddy from City Hall. He's
Where's
the one
Quincy?
that gave me the dog. He's watching us.
Oh, he's just watching. I thought maybe he was online here with us.
No, we don't want it. I mean, that's too much ugly in one room. We got Chuck to deal with over here. If we put Quincy in here, we would break some laws.
and some cameras. No,
So, what are you doing, Peck, to stay indoors, man? Are you staying indoors or just staying away from people? What are you doing?
Well, besides jumping back and forth from Michigan to Texas, I am staying pretty much indoors. When I'm not on the road with the Spinners, I'm doing commercials. I have a studio in Michigan and Houston, as I stated earlier, and I do commercials that go all around the world. So that still keeps me pretty busy. I just finished my first audio book, and it's posted on my Facebook page, which is called Jesse Peck. And the book is called Grace. I know, I got to do that. The book is called Grace, Mercy, and Faith. It's written by Lance Dixon. It's an excellent spiritual guidance book, and I'm very happy to be doing the audio version of that book. So we just finished that, starting on the next book. Again, still doing my commercials. And the Spinners, the group that I'm a part of, I'm the bass singer for the legendary Spinners. God is good. The Spinners are actually beginning now to work on a new album. So we're starting to put some of the material together that we've been working on for some years now, and it looks like we're maximizing our time off by beginning to work on a new Spinner album. So I'm real excited about that, and we're staying pretty busy.
That's cool.
Staying pretty busy.
You're not going to turn Rubber Band Man into a rap or a twerk, are you?
Beautiful.
Wiki, rubber. No, we're not going to do that. No. That's not. Oh, and also, let me say happy birthday to my daughter. She's turning 16. My daughter's 16. She was looking forward to a grand birthday party. But now with the pandemic, she can't have her party.
Wow.
Yeah, but Jessica, I love you very much, dear. When I get home, I'm going to do something special just for you for your sweet 16th birthday. So I love you, baby. When
So
Daddy will make it great.
she's probably asking why you didn't take her. You left her there with all that
Beautiful.
COVID and just booked, didn't you?
Wonderful.
Well, if you're gonna put me out there, I'll go ahead and tell you. Her mom wouldn't let her come. Well, mom would being a mom, she's thinking about. She knows that the numbers are better here in Houston, Texas, but her mom was more concerned about the airport, being on the plane, the recirculated air, and we talked about it at length. And Jessica's mom thought it was best that she just stay at home instead of coming
Right.
to Houston with
It's
me.
a hard
So.
decision. It's a hard
It was
decision.
a hard decision. It was a hard. It took her mom. It took Sheila a couple days to make up her mind. But she decided, and we're co-parents, so I had to support her in that. That's why Jessica's not here with me. And I
Well,
understand, and I support her mom in that decision.
well, we were able to get Marcus home just before everything went really
All right.
crazy.
Yeah,
So we were
good.
happy. We were happy for that. I've heard
Yeah,
stories of people trapped. I had a friend, Jeff Blow, that was over in Australia
Jeff
when all
Blow.
this was going down, and he made it home fine, you know.
Good for him.
Yep.
But then I heard of another guy. My cousin, Chucky. His son is got sent over to Africa the beginning of March to do a story on CO-19, and got stuck there. He can't get back.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Big time.
I can't imagine being stuck in a foreign country, no money. I don't know what his financial situation is, but just
Wow.
you don't plan on being there for 3 months.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
here's what I'm going to ask you guys now. When's it
Africa's
going to be?
probably the best place, though. Africa's probably the best place for him to be. I've been talking to some of my African friends, and I haven't heard about a lot of cases out there. And everything's dirt cheap. So if that man has $100, he living like a king for a good week.
On the bright side, okay.
So I want you guys to think when is the all clear coming? When are we going to be able to go outside? Jesse, you got a fan here, Daryl Jones.
Hey, what's up, Daryl? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Daryl's a great guy.
All right.
What was your question, Paul?
When's it going to be over? When's the all clear coming?
Well, we're hoping, the spinners are hoping it's going to be April 30th. We were told that initially. All of our shows, Disney World and everything else, has been either postponed well, most of our shows are postponed, just a couple canceled altogether. But I'm really crossing my fingers and praying for April 30th that we'll be able to get back on the road. I'm hearing, and there are grumblings that this thing may be extended. It could be the end of May before things begin to get back to normal. But I'm really sincerely hoping that our world can begin to get back to normal as of April 30th, and with a different outlook on life and with a different perspective on each other. I'm hoping that what we're going through now in this lockdown period, I'm hoping it'll cause us to show more love for each other. Extend a kind hand to our fellow man, to be kinder, to speak, to say hello. I'm hoping that this will draw us closer together, since we're forced to do so now.
Man, I can't wait to be just scared of the police. That's all I'm saying. I just can't
I'm
wait.
scared of the police. The good old days.
The good old days.
That's
Hey,
funny.
Timmy, when do you think it's going to be over, Tim?
Yep. What I'm hearing at the roundtables at work, and they're telling us that Florida, Tampa area of Florida, we've already reached our peak, and it was nowhere near what they expected, and we're already sliding downhill. University of Washington says that we should hit our peak number of hospitalizations by April 15th, and the local medical community says that's about dead accurate. So we're expecting that after April 15th, the number of hospitalizations are going to start going down, and the new cases are not going to be there. And I'm hoping by June 1st.
Awesome. June 1st.
What's your population down there? What's your population, Tim?
God, I'd have to go look it up because we call ourselves the Tampa Bay area, and it's 4 counties and some of the most heavily populated counties in the state of Florida.
So 6 million, 10 million, something like that?
At a rough guess, yeah.
Okay. All right, Ted, what are you thinking? When's it going to be over?
I'm hoping by the end of this month or the end of next month. I doubt it'll be over by the end of April, but I'm hoping by the end of May.
Yeah.
What gives you that hope, Ted? What gives you that hope?
Nothing based in science.
Chuck, you got a guess? Hey, Chuck, you got a guess when this is going to be over? When the all clear is going to be sounded?
He's thinking about dinner, I think.
I think that damn Everclear hit. That's what happened. That Everclear hit.
I just don't see us before the end of summer. Yeah,
So,
I don't think we're gonna ever be back to the way we were. Can you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
Can you? I know. Hey. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you
Yes, we
now.
can hear
Hello.
I think he's watching
y'all
it
hear
on
me?
the internet. Yeah, we can hear you. Take another sip, Chuck. Take another sip.
Hamburger, we can
Okay,
hear you.
I don't know if this is going to be cleared up before the end of the summer.
Wow.
Paul Jr., what are you thinking?
Man, I don't know.
Okay, I don't.
I think probably end of May, early June.
I don't.
May, June?
I don't know if this is going to be cleared by the end of summer.
What is he listening to? What is Chuck listening to?
I don't know.
Well, I have a prediction, and I want you guys to get your calendars out. I predict that this is going to end November 5th.
Why November 5th?
Oh, right before the election.
No,
That's the day
I'm
after the
I hear
election.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Put it on your calendar, November 5th. Probably November 3rd, he's going to come up with a solution, a vaccine, and then we'll all go out November 4th, and it'll be over November 5th.
See, the funny thing is, I heard it the other way.
That'd be crazy.
Was that the way I heard it was,
Crazy.
if you want to end this thing today, just announce that the 2020 election has been canceled. Next presidential election is 2024, and watch how fast this gets cured.
Gone. So let me ask you guys about the stock market. Any of you guys invested in stocks?
Yeah, in a roundabout way with mutual funds and IRAs.
So are you monitoring? Are you watching? Are you buying? I mean, they say when there's a crash, everything's on sale, and that's when you're supposed to buy.
Yeah, no, I tried my hand
Not
at
personally.
individual stock investment and realized that I don't know about the market, so I shouldn't waste my money there.
Well, Tim, I'm with you, and I just pulled my money out of the stock market, say about 7-8 months ago. But now I'm hearing that Delta stock, here's a tip for you. Delta stock is now $22 a share. So, buddy, I'm jumping all over that. $22 a share for Delta stock. So that's what I'm
Now, what
doing.
if Delta is one of the ones that doesn't recover, Jesse?
Honey, I think Delta's a damn good bet right about now. I'm going with Delta.
Jesse, the last individual stock I bought.
I mean, whatever you do, it's volatile. You don't know. That's the whole point of the market.
That,
Well,
Yeah,
there
but
you go.
It's a long-term thing. You're not buying it to sell it tomorrow. You're supposed to hold on to it for a couple
For
of
long term, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I bought Sun Microsystems $2 a share, thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna go right through the roof. Next thing I know, they're telling me you own a bunch of junk paper.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Oh, after the fourth time it happened, I said, that's it.
Damn you, E-Trade. Yeah.
Okay, how about cyber currency? Are you guys any of you guys into the Bitcoin thing?
No,
I'm not. No, I'm not educated enough on that. No, I don't know enough about it.
I don't trust
I
virtual
don't
currency.
have a website I use. I've just been doing it through Cash App, so I own like a part of a Bitcoin.
Yeah,
A whole Bitcoin's like $3,000, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think it's around 2K right now, but yeah, something like
Well,
that.
I started buying Bitcoin just because I wanted to. I think I'm going to do some dark web stuff, and I wanted to be able to, buy my hookers without getting traced back to my bank account.
Angie, are you listening to this, Angie?
Paul Jr.
Oh my God.
Paul Jr. You need to go up there or down there and give him a dope slap for wasting your inheritance like that.
Well, Angie's already on it. She's going to hit him with a meat cleaver any second now. I'm waiting to see it happen.
Or frying
But
pan.
I started buying Bitcoin. People will sometimes pay me with the Cash App. And what I decided to do was I was going to take 10% of whatever I had been paid in the Cash App and go ahead and buy Bitcoins with it.
Okay.
And see what happens. So far it's been fun. I went up. I think I had $20 worth on Tuesday. On Thursday I looked. I had $23 worth.
Ooh.
And then on Monday I looked and I had $18 worth. And I haven't looked since. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm rolling, guys. I'm rolling.
Don't
Up
wait
and down.
for inheritance.
Bezos, watch out, baby. Watch out, Bezos. I'm coming for
Don't inheritance.
you. We lost Chuck. Hold on. Let me get Chuck back in here. There he is. Chuck, I think that Everclear is messing with your connection, bro.
Is that how that works?
He's still frozen. Oh, God.
I don't think he's frozen. I think he's drunk. There he is.
I thought he was going to pop back up with a burger in his hand.
No, it's making the connection better.
That Everclear do you like that, boy? You just be stuck.
So y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
I can
Yeah,
hear
we can hear
you
you.
all.
Good.
So we got end of summer. We got April, a hopeful April from the Spinners. We got June from Tampa, and they're in line with their peaks and valleys over there. Paul Jr., what'd you say?
Sound is
again?
going
You
in
said
and out
June?
on my end.
Oh, for me?
Oh, I said,
Can you hear me?
yeah. Who's going out?
Chuck said the sound was going in and out for him.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. No, I said end of May, early June.
Okay.
I'm with Paul Jr.
Okay.
Early
I'm sad
May,
about
you think
that.
so? I was listening to our mayor did a town hall
Yes.
yesterday. And I'm always reading between the lines, right? So our head medical guy, I'm not going to call his name because I'll get it wrong. Dr. Reynolds, I got it right. Dr. Reynolds, he made it a point to say that people are hoping that this is going to be over by summer. And we have no indication that that's the case. But what I heard in his voice and what I saw in his face was, this is going to be a long time. They're doling out these 30-day quarantines because if they told us 120, we'd go crazy. It's easier to feed us with a spoon and say just 15 more days, guys, 15 more days, and then, put a bunch of deaths in the paper on the 14th day and say, dude, we need 15 more days. We need 15 more days. And I can
But
see
you
the
only get
logic
so many
behind that.
extensions. You can only
Right,
get so
that's only
many
gonna
extensions for
work
people
once or
on your
twice.
ship.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and they've already done it twice. So the
And they've
next
done it
one is
twice.
over. Yeah.
And what happens then, Paul? What happens then? I mean,
know.
so many people don't trust. I mean, who do you trust? Have you watched this nonsense? I mean, I turned on MSNBC, CNN, and a couple of the other ones, and I was just disgusted.
Yeah.
I was just disgusted that this is how you're treating this. I think it's an extinction, guy. I think it's an extinction. I don't think it's a pandemic. I think they're trying to get rid of some of us on this place.
Can
say
I
you
ask
said?
a question?
Wait, people are trying to get rid of us, or is it just nature cleaning house?
I think it's people. I think it's people trying to get rid
You
of
think
us.
you think it's
And whether it's by lucky coincidence or by design, I don't know.
You can't.
Terrible.
You can't. Those aren't the same thing. Like someone planning to take someone out can't be a lucky coincidence.
Well, I mean, they were planning on it, and the virus got released, and they said, well, how can we maximize this? All right, let's not stop traffic. Let's let this thing spread. Let's let it go into the African-American community. Let's let it wipe out 70% of black folks in the country, and let's start fresh.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that y'all brought that back up because I couldn't talk when that was going on. But I think the reason that there's 70% of us dying is because we're not going to get checked to see if we have it. Like the white
Excuse
people
me?
and everybody else that has insurance, they're going to get tested. The black community, we're notorious for not having insurance. So when do we find out that we have it? When it's
When
too
you have
late.
it.
When we're super symptomatic and we're at the end of the disease and it's about to kill us. That's when we find out.
Okay.
So that
I can see that as a factor, Paul. I can see that as a factor, but that doesn't debate the question that I had. Is is it an extinction?
Right.
Is it an extinction? Is it by design? And yeah, we don't have insurance, and yeah, we don't go to the hospital, and yeah, that's where all the sick people are, and yeah, if you tell me I have it, I get tested for it. Does that increase my likelihood of living? Haven't I just written my death sentence of
Yeah,
coming
if
to
you
you and
can't pay for
finding out
treatment.
that I have it? Because now
Mhm.
I can't pay for the insurance. You're not going to admit me into the hospital because I don't have insurance.
Just because you have it
Mhm.
doesn't necessarily mean you need to go to the hospital or anything. The thing is that there are a lot of people that are getting sick with this that can recover at home, but the ones that have asthma, diabetes, heart disease,
Bro,
They're
those
more susceptible.
in
they're
intensive.
saying 80% of people
70% of
don't
the
even
black
really.
people.
Thank
Well,
you.
80% of the people overall just barely even know they even had it or even had a problem. The
Right, yeah.
majority don't notice it.
Mm.
And I'm still wondering whatever happened to the regular flu? Wasn't that killing 80,000 people a year?
Well,
The
that's what I
regular
was
flu?
gonna that's what I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
bring
Ted.
up before.
I knew he was
Is
going to say that.
well, no, that's what I bring up before, not the regular flu, but when you look at how our previous president handled four different viruses and four different scares compared to how they're handling this one. Were any one of those have any less people that were getting sick and dying from it? I mean, one was what, Ebola, one was the swine flu, and there was two others that happened while Obama was president. And we didn't do this lockdown. But I don't think we did this lockdown and stuff because it was taken care of sooner. They started
The
cutting.
Ebola thing was ignored while it was spreading around Africa, and nobody paid attention to it until it got out of Africa.
Yeah.
Then it became an issue.
Yeah.
I was watching BBC News and saying to myself, when is the WHO? What is the WHO gonna do? When is the WHO gonna? And the worst part was this country. There was nothing in our news, nothing from our politicians about it until it started escaping Africa and showing up in the Western world.
Now, was that under Bush or was that under Obama?
That was under Obama.
Okay. I'm just looking at the difference between a president people have faith and trust in compared to a president nobody believes a damn thing he says.
You know what? To me, it's all bull crap. All right, and I don't pay attention to the press conferences to hear him speak. I wish he would shut up and just let Dr. Fauci speak and the other people speak. You know, and the thing is that, as I said to a few people that are saying the same thing, but in the beginning, when he was allowing those people to go out and do the talking, all of a sudden he was getting lambasted in the news as being disconnected and he didn't care. So now he's trying to show he's connected and he cares. And we're hearing, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
I think
Can I add to what Ted was saying? And there were a number, and I'm going to give you some stats here. In 2001, it was anthrax that was going to kill us all.
Yeah.
In 2002, it was West Nile. In 2003,
West Nile, yep.
In 2003, we had the SARS virus that was going to kill us. In 2005, it was the bird flu. In 2006, they had us scared of the E. coli. Remember the E. coli virus?
Yep.
In 2009, it was the swine flu. I think you said that, Ted. Yep. And what else was it? Ebola finally came around in 2014. There was a big measles scare in 2015. Then we had the Zika virus in 2016.
Zika was the other one. Yep.
Yeah, Zika was the other virus, and now we have Corona. So just to add to what you were saying earlier, Ted.
Well, it's just I look at it like
The timeline there.
we cut such a I can't think of the right word again. We cut this short when Obama was president compared to now we have Trump in the White House, and I think they just ignored it way too long and allowed it to get into this country too quickly. And again, it drives it seems strange to me that here I am in LA, the LA area, with what 27 million people here. We got more people here in LA than many states do.
Uh-huh.
And the people I know that have caught the coronavirus are back in Genesee County.
Right.
Okay.
And their family members. And
They're
that hits close
concentrated in
to
Genesee
home
County?
with me being 2,000, 3,000 miles away. The people I know that caught it are all back in Flint, Michigan area.
Well, listen, we got about 60 seconds left. You guys want to say goodbye and I love you? Maybe we can all get lucky tonight, like Jesse.
All right, whatever. I'll go real quick to Cartwright, our good friend who was diagnosed having corona, who's recovering and doing well. We love you, Cartwright. Get home, brother. Let's ride our motorcycles, baby. I'll see you soon.
All right, Timmy.
Good night, everybody. I'm glad to have been here. Hope I contributed.
All right, we lost Chuck and we lost Paul Jr. there at the end. So listen, I want to tell you guys thank you for watching Eclectic Ramblings. Hopefully Donna has seen this and saw how much fun we had, and she'll be back next week for another exciting episode of Eclectic Ramblings. If you guys want to get your show on, make sure you give us a call at 810-239-2901. Spectacle Productions, determined to make a difference. Good night, guys.
Right on.
Peace.
Good night. Right on.
Good night.